Who's got an EGOT?
Who has an ego?
Yeah,
EGOT. Oh, Rita Moreno. Rita
Moreno has an EGOT.
Yeah.
Did Tracy Jordan ever get one? Tracy Jordan may have gotten an EGOT.
Was he up for the EGOT? I didn't know.
He wanted one.
He wanted one.
Rita Moreno definitely.
Rita Moreno, absolutely.
He had a big, chunky EGOT necklace.
Where does
with Joel Gray? Perhaps?
What is more impressive?
Tony and Oscar certainly.
Oscar.
5 rings.
Both were on Oz.
Well, both were on Oz.
Brian, I just did something with Brian Cranston. He's got Emmy, Tony. He's an Oscar and Grammy away from an EGOT. The Grammy's weird.
The back door.
Spoken word.
That's the back door into the EGOT.
Brian Cranston reads Maya Angelou.
Legitimately.
How? She sang, right.
Right, she sang.
Yeah,
but what's more is
Ruben Blades? No, Ruben Blades never won an Oscar.
Blades.
Is it Ruben Blades?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was told for years it was Ruben Blades.
Yeah, you're wrong. It's Ruben Blades.
What about Benny Blades?
Benny Blades? No, a fine safety Benny Blades.
What about Blade?
Blade the Vampire Hunter, Daywalker.
Wesley.
We are Dr. Wesley Snipes. Please get that correct.
All right, so what have you got for letter up today? What's the deal?
All right, we've really run the gamut. There was the obligatory Lakers D'Angelo talk. We got into Charlie Sheen and Brie Olson, who are the D'Angelo of their day.
Didn't get into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very carefully.
Figuratively.
Although if you do now, he did warn you.
No fair warning.
That's your own fault.
I mean, am I the only one that's thinking, all right, it's Charlie Sheen, you kind of know what you're getting into.
There is an element of that, but at the same time,
she's a porn star. He's Charlie Sheen.
That is, I would say, a compelling counterpoint.
Well, I would say this: you don't necessarily know what you're getting into. You know what you could.
Right. There's a risk inherent.
And the other thing is, people, especially the younger generation, kids that are coming along right now, the millennials. They all believe that HIV is
You're their leader.
It's a treatable illness.
Yes,
and the HIV rate is going up right now. My father-in-law has got he actually invented a key compound that is in the AIDS cocktail. And he says, he goes to all the AIDS conferences, he says it is out of control because everybody believes it's cured, and it's not cured. Nobody knows the long-term effects of all of this cocktail, of the medications that are
4 pills a day, right?
Correct.
I mean, it's better than the alternative.
Oh, it's better than but I mean,
but
it shouldn't be treated as a I'll just take pills
afterwards. And I don't want to. That is the danger in the success of Magic Johnson, is that you can look at it. Not that Magic is an advocate, and he points this out, and he talks about the risk, and there's nothing he's doing wrong. But in the society, particularly the culture and the society we live in, where nobody really pays attention to the details of anything, you can look at somebody like Magic Johnson
and say,
what's the problem?
He's doing okay.
It's similar to the way, there are a lot of activists who say that Caitlyn Jenner, the problem with her is that she's not a true representative.
She has money and was able to write.
Her experience as somebody transgender, while obviously you can be moved by it, and I think
wildly different.
It's so different that it doesn't really give you.
She's courageous and brave.
And yet, famous people have always served a really important role.
Well, we talked about Rock Hudson yesterday.
Yeah, we talked about Rock Hudson. You talk about Neil Patrick Harris, Ellen DeGeneres. You go back and you talk about Sidney Poitier,
Michael Jeter.
You go back to actors, black actors who first busted down the door. You talk about even
Hattie
this year, Hattie McDaniel. You talk about Viola Davis, who famously won Best Actress in a Drama Series this year. Well, first time that's ever happened. So this is significant, and a relative few number of minority performers have actually won awards. It just doesn't happen a lot in terms of film. And people like Anna DuVernay, who directed Selma, has spoken very eloquently about this. Shonda Rhimes, who developed that entire Thursday night for ABC. She's
just going to have to be content with the hundreds of millions of dollars she's making.
But she's also
with a night of television dedicated and branded around her persona.
And I don't watch
Shonda Rhimes is being well treated.
But I don't watch
any.
I don't watch any of these shows. But I know that they have very, very multiracial casts.
For sure, yes.
And so the success of Empire.
Straight out of Compton.
Straight out of Compton.
There's this myth that seems to perpetuate throughout Hollywood and the studio system and TV and all these things that. A project like Straight Outta Compton becoming a hit, well, that's the exception that proves the rule. That's the one that managed to the black project that reached white audiences.
But
that's not something
Well,
you can build on.
You can argue, by the way, that NWA was the black project that
course.
reached white audiences.
But if you could argue that, then it wouldn't have taken this long to
But guys, I would make the argument in defense of the entertainment industry. Like, Will Smith was the biggest movie star in the world since 1996. So it's not like there are not, Denzel, not internationally, but Denzel.
Two.
All right, Jamie Foxx carries.
Jamie Foxx does not carry a movie.
But do you
Jamie
think
Foxx is getting paid as though he
does not carry a movie.
This is the question I would ask, though.
But I'm saying the biggest movie star in the world was black.
Sure,
right?
but it's not that the biggest movie star in the world couldn't be black, like Will Smith was at one point the biggest movie star. He's always been black.
Like Will Smith, right?
He's always been black.
And,
I would argue,
and remains so.
No, he started black.
He cracked progressively.
And he completely stayed black.
Ever since Bel-Air.
No. He's been
impressive.
He has been consistent that way.
Yeah, to his credit.
And I would argue
day.
Denzel Washington is maybe the most bankable star in Hollywood.
Not internationally.
But certainly
but he does.
domestically.
I mean, he is an icon.
But this is the question I
There's
would
a
ask.
cap even to his domestic.
This is the question I would ask. Do you think that there is consistent confidence within Hollywood that there could be more people like Denzel?
I'm gonna make. You know what? There's consistent confidence. The minute if Creed opens,
if Creed
watch
opens,
how quickly Michael B. Jordan's going to get
becomes
cast
a star.
Guys, but we're also talking about
right after
we're talking about
so it's really about the idea of if you open Hollywood is simply about show me with somebody else's money that you can be successful, and the minute it's successful, I'm coming right after you.
We're talking
That's
about
Hollywood.
We're
It's
talking
got
about
nothing
the
to do with
wrong
black,
problem.
white, red, green.
It's the same way we focus on. Steve, you talked about stars, and we do it in Hollywood, we do it with the NCAA, we do it in athletics, and all these other things. We focus on the top layer of people as if they're representative of the entire industry. We're having a conversation about Will Smith. And
Anthony Mackie.
Let's talk about all the great black directors. Let's talk about all the great black directors.
That is a much trickier situation.
But it's more than that. It's directors, it's grips, it's editors, it's electricians, it's writers, it's all these other things. In the same way that in college sports, we focus on the 10 guys who we think ought to be paid for whatever, and forget there's an entire other industry you have to consider the rest of the athletes.
Well, and let's also keep in mind that this country is slowly turning brown. And
there's no question.
And
demographically,
we do not have a great Latino star right
now. Will Smith, though, in this scenario, will remain black.
No, he will remain black, despite the fact that we have very few Latino stars, and we really do. Latinas, we don't have enough roles.
A lot on Michael Pena's shoulders.
It's the infrastructure that's more important than what happens to the people.
Was it Narco? Right, Narco.
Narcos
opened. I mean, a lot of Latino actors got to work the series.
Which, by the way, is incredibly entertaining and fun. And
too much voiceover.
I do
too much
a little bit, but it was still fun. And I do worry that I took the wrong message from it because my takeaway was
you want to go sell drugs.
I want to sell drugs in a giant cartel. Did I get that wrong?
You want to join up?
It looks so cool.
Yeah.
Did I take the wrong thing from the series?
You did.
Brian Kamentzky.
Nancy Reagan is super pissed.
They showed that clip though.
I know they did.
It's great.
I know they did.
And you forget how straight-laced and lame those things look.
What's weird about Narcos is you can sort of trace the history of cocaine use in America. Like, cocaine was not really prevalent until you got to the late 70s.
Right.
And then it busted through in Miami next, right around the time of the Reagan.
It was a party drug.
Right. You guys can explain this to me because at the beginning of Narcos,
and then it became less than zero in LA.
Yep.
And Bret Easton Ellis has had a career ever since.
Yes, he has.
Good for Bret.
I understand, at the beginning of a Law and Order episode, we were talking about Law and Order during the break, but they do the thing any resemblance to fictional characters,
strictly coincidental.
They run that at the beginning of Narcos, where they say, there's a fictional account based on not real people and any real, what. It's about Pablo Escobar and a bunch of people who are real. How does that work?
It's like the Americans. The Americans does that too, where there'll be some historical people plus fake people and.
But I can understand some of the.
Right, but Pablo Escobar's the star of the show.
But in every significant biographical picture, for the most part, there are composite characters. There are, hey, this guy was kind of like him and kind of like him.
But it's not like they made up the entire story.
In Trumbo, Louis C.K. is a composite character. No, that guy never existed.
I feel like Steve Mason sometimes is a composite character.
I am.
There's a little Mashonsky.
A lot of people
I am a
combined
composite
into one
character.
guy.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. So
Gaining more characters every day.
yeah, no, I'm just letting it loose right now. Somebody said recently, what happened to you? You turned into a completely different person on the air. And if you go back 5 years, I mean, I don't know. I was doing like, hey, Kobe, what do you think? 877-710 ESPN. Ireland still tries to do that, by the way.
I thought you were imitating Ireland for a second.
Am I nuts here? No, but I think that push away. Yeah, people can't really see it, but
It's
is
still
so
fun for us.
genius.
It's
There's
amazing.
such a great mockery.
Whenever John thinks during an interview that he asked a really good question, he pushes his chair back.
with two hands,
Yep.
I drop the mic.
Yep.
That's the question.
Tell me I'm crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you something weird here.
Okay. Am I crazy, or did Kobe play better on Sunday? I mean, am I crazy here?
Well, Steve, Saturday he scored. John, Saturday he scored 11 points. Sunday he scored 49.
Am
So,
I
yes,
crazy
think he did.
here,
That's a hot
or is D'Angelo Russell a rookie?
And you better appreciate that Kobe played better because soon he's going to be gone.
there will be no Kobe,
877
and you will be
710
sorry
ESPN.
when
Is
he's gone.
D'Angelo
Tell me if
Russell
you
a
agree.
rookie? 877 710 ESPN.
I think this. Mason thinks this. 87. And I never do think the thing he says. Like he'll just say Mason thinks this. I'll be like, I didn't say anything like that. He'll immediately divide us randomly.
Mason believes that Texas Tech is the greatest football program of all
I say
time.
no. 877 ESPN. What do we think of D'Angelo last night?
Well, the stat line looked better than the actual game.
100%.
You had a good last 3 minutes. But you know what? I thought there was something kind of instructive about that last couple minutes. Everybody was just kind of playing. Russell got a couple buckets, and Randall got
they
a
were
couple
floating.
buckets. Well, they were kind of playing.
They were not really engaged, I didn't think. I mean, Russell had that one drive.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. They're not like, I don't think they were thinking as much. I think they were just sort of out there doing things. There's a lot of thinking that goes into the first 3 quarters of every game.
Right,
But
but
I would
Russell
argue-
looks dazed. Most of the time, he looks dazed. He doesn't, and you're right, the stat line looks okay. He's not attacking. I don't see him getting back in transition defense. I mean, I just think he's.
Well, he wants to fit in.
I think he's. I just think he's wandering a lot of the time when he's on the floor.
Listen, the one thing I would say looking at that game last night that should give you a little bit of hope is the point guard on the other end of the floor, Brandon Knight, who went through this exact same thing, was viewed as a bust and nowhere near to the point he got traded by the team that drafted him.
How long did it
and is
take?
Now,
I
well, he's
wanna
what, year 4 or 5
Yeah,
now?
okay, God.
That's
Year
point guard.
4 or 5 is
Steph
how
Curry,
long we
though,
wait.
this is what it's going to be.
Eric Bledsoe, it didn't happen for him.
You brought up Mike Conley, which is a really good example.
Mike
these
Conley
are
is the
all-
guy that I always think of as the prototype for D'Angelo.
Right, but
They have a
D'Angelo,
lot of
but Mike
similarities.
Conley is not a star. Mike Conley is
He's
kind
an
of,
all-star.
but he's
Very
kind of,
He's an
good.
all-star
In the
caliber
East, he's an
player.
all-star.
he's nifty.
No,
right?
he's a
He's
really
kinda,
good
he's a
player.
nifty
In the
little
East, he would have been an
player.
all-star last
He's
year.
a free agent after this year. Is he a max guy?
He's pretty close.
pretty close.
He's
He'll be-
pretty close.
And it just takes one.
Would you say he's the second best unrestricted free agent this year after Kevin Durant?
I have to
It's
look at the list.
I have to
basically
look at the
it's
list.
basically him and
Then
Joakim
yes.
Noah.
Then yes. I
And
No
yeah,
one
that's it.
looks like he's falling apart.
Those are the
That's
those
the
are the
list.
only three guys that I
surely
see.
there's some middle ground between, Andy's,
Magic.
the 5 years of Brandon Knight and Steve's position of right now. Why don't we give D'Angelo until January?
No, I refuse.
Well, let's say, how about mid?
No, you know what it is though. It's not. And Worthy talked about this last night. It's not that he's. It's that he's not engaged. He's not doing the things that he can do. He's not making the hustle.
Is he not
plays.
engaged or is he not being engaged? That's the question I would ask.
Well, here's the problem. I mean, when you're on a bad team, you can suffer from bad
Sorry,
team disease.
just got a tweet from Nick Jongling. Another Irelandism quote. Let me tell you something no one is really talking about. Proceeds to say something everyone.
Oh, that's so awesome. That is
Kick
so
him there when
awesome.
he's
That
down.
is too good not
Yeah.
to read
No, that
right
is
in this
so
very
awesome.
moment.
Congratulations, Nick. You are a listener. But that's why we love him, right?
Yep.
We love him because he's incredibly predictable. Predictability
You know
makes you
what?
feel safe.
He's the type of radio host that Byron Scott would play.
Byron gives Ireland all the fourth quarter
Right,
minutes.
if he was the program guy, it would be all Ireland. He would be a finisher. I'd be on the bench. I'd be absolutely
At
on
the
the
end of
bench.
the press conference, he said, "Look, Ireland's the least of my problems right now. I don't spend any time worrying
Mason's
about
got to
John
man
Ireland.
up.
Those
Mason needs
man
to
up,
man
right?
up.
I thought we played like crap. He said last night. I mean, Byron, I don't know how he faces these questions game after game. I mean, they really are the exact same questions. And Byron, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed this. He's not the most animated guy at these press conferences. He just looks
He occasionally uncrosses his elbows.
ticked. Right, occasionally. But I thought James Worthy hit it on the nose last night. It's like they're not good. They're not good at all.
Breaking news.
But they're
Never let it be said James Worthy doesn't pick up on,
there is
Man
no
knows
reason.
basketball.
Listen,
There's
he is a
no
veteran.
reason they shouldn't be cleaning up on the defensive glass.
They
There's
were-
no.
Well,
That's,
there are a
that
lot of
is
reasons
effort.
No, there are a lot of. No, it's not effort. It's not just effort. It's partially it's personnel, but also it's because they're bad at defense in every other way, which means when the shot goes up, nobody's where they're supposed to be, which means you give up a lot of rebounds.
Okay, well here's. You know,
Bad defensive teams are going to be bad rebounding.
I went on the synergy thing this morning, and you know they are dead.
Synergy?
They are dead last in allowing.
You talk about
putbacks.
synergy in the same way my mom talks about the internet.
Yeah, but I mean
Guys, I went on the synergy the other
Yeah,
day.
no, I mean, what else do you call
My
it?
mom's-
I was on Synergy
Mom
Sports
still
Tech.
calls it the Google.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like calling it the Synergy. A lot of people, by the way, don't know what it
SST.
is. And it's super expensive. I mean, I'm paying off, though.
Well, that was a humble brag.
No, it is. It's super expensive, but I feel like
You're
it's
writing it
part of
off
my
on your
job.
taxes, aren't you?
Sure, it's deductible. I mean, are you guys on the Synergy?
I am on the synergy.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing about the Synergy, and
Can
I
you
believe
score me
it's-
some synergy? Because I would
I
like to
believe
try
it's
it.
wide open
You
to
want
the
me,
public,
you want me
right?
to look you up a
Can we
number? I
meet
can
in
do
the
it
East
right now.
Garage
answer
after
that. I have
the
a test
show?
next week.
If you really give a damn
I have a
about
whizzing
this-
If you want right now, I will fire up the computer. I'll give you a little taste, but the next one's going to cost
But I mean,
you.
the beauty of the
can roll
synergy
stats.
is
Gateway
you can sit
synergy.
and
Right.
watch an entire game all over again, only possession by possession.
Nobody connected to the Lakers should have to do that. It's terrible
No,
thing
but
to
I
do
but
to
I
Lakers
can do it, and I can
Right.
you can absolutely see things that you don't necessarily see in the context of a game. It's like
Particularly
oh,
a
show me.
well-trained basketball mind like yours.
Yeah,
Yours.
what?
I mean,
You know
yeah.
what?
Like
let's,
yous?
let's give me
Yous.
some credit. I'm trying to become a well-trained guy. Right? I mean, I've got the synergy. I'm trying. You know, I'm working at it, man. I'm not just floating through this thing. I'm actually doing my work. You know what? It's Mason doing work. It's just like that Kobe movie. It's Mason doing work.
This
Coming
will be
soon to
Spike
Viacom
Lee's next,
Network
Spike
near
Lee's
you.
next documentary will be you studying
doing
the synergy.
Yeah, I mean, they're just not very good.
Right, so you know what? The Kevin Pelton in
Take
chat
away from-
force.
I'd like to see somebody dive on the floor.
You know, they
I mean,
just-
I'd
they-
like to see somebody take a charge. I mean, I'd like to see them.
As opposed to give one, we're good
right.
at giving them.
I'd like to see guys get back in transition defense. I mean, I don't even think they're making an effort to get back. It's like, oh, look, there they go. Good luck down there.
The Lakers they have a lot of things to figure out with, like, okay, we have a bunch of rebuilding guys, but we also have Lou Williams, we also have Nick Young and Kobe. Like, if you want the young guys to do young guy stuff and get out there and really improve, the whole thing needs to be tailored just to them.
Completely.
And it's not there yet.
Yeah.
Can I be
It's not.
honest? This is all scintillating, but I have to go pick up Star Wars Battlefront for the PS4.
Oh.
And
By the
hopefully
way,
see you on the field of battle.
We're
at some
going
point.
full on. I played the game. I've been
Game of
playing the
Thrones?
Game of Thrones
Thumbs
one
up?
on PS4. Oh, it's awesome.
Thought you'd
It's
like it.
awesome. Yeah, I mean, right from the Blood Wedding.
Does
and
winter
I'm off.
come relatively quickly?
Oh, it's in continuity with the show. It's a cool game.
Did
You
you-
exactly started the Blood Wedding, and
Right.
then you
Okay,
make
so
decisions.
did you throw anyone through the hole in the sky? in the castle? Did
I
you get
don't-
to do anything
I have
like that?
not yet,
Oh.
but I'll tell you that's some creepy stuff. That kid by the hole,
Yes,
hole in the
and his
castle.
mom.
Let's make
If
him
I've learned
fly.
anything,
Oh.
if I've learned anything from watching Game of Thrones, it's that 12 is 2-year-old.
I would
too
say
old to
mom
breastfeed.
taking. I would say little finger tossing.
Spoiler
his,
alert.
His wife through the hole is one of the most satisfying
But
events.
she,
of
Yeah,
the
yeah, she
entire show.
deserved that. If
Oh,
anyone
she-
I'm
deserved
pro
to get thrown
Littlefinger.
out
I'm
of a
team
giant
Littlefinger.
Oh, I
airplane.
love
course
Little.
you
He's
are.
got a long-term.
You know, he's a
game
player.
he's playing.
That guy's a player.
Yeah, I like him.
He would accept the process more than say
He would
Byron?
accept
You
the
know what?
process. yeah.
Spike Lee, Littlefinger doing work. He's doing work.
All right, I'm going to GameStop. Buffalo Wild Wings, Wings Beer Sports.